Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to talk about another type of research, that is applied research. Applied research is a very popularly used technique by the researchers because it particularly focuses to solve specific policy problems, and basically it helps the practitioners to accomplish their tasks. Therefore, one of the most significant part of applied research is that it provides immediate practical use. Because theory is less central to applied research, and seeking a solution to a specific problem in a particular situation is the main target of the researcher. We can say that applied research is such an umbrella term that includes different kinds of systematic and empirical research which aims to solve the particular problem. The major types of applied research includes action research, evaluation research, and social impact assessment. Action research refers to that type of applied research in which a particular specific problem is being identified, studied, and then a practical solution is provided by the researcher. Therefore, action research may also be called as a cycle of inquiry or a cycle of action because it follows a very predefined process that is repeated over time. It includes the identification of the problem, then the collection of data, then organization and interpretation of a data, and then a researcher develops a whole plan to address the problem, including providing awareness about that issue to the society, and then that whole plan is being implemented and evaluated. Therefore, we see that action research is more linked to a particular social action in which the goal of the researcher is to empower the society by providing a solution to the problem as well, and the researcher also seeks to raise consciousness and awareness about a particular issue. In this context, the origin of action research will also facilitate us to understand that how action research is applied in nature. The term action research was first coined by a famous social psychologist, Kurt Lewin, in 1944. One of the conclusions that Lewin made was that no action without research and no research without action. Therefore, the central part of Lewin's action research process was that it must include the active participation by those who have to carry out the work in the exploration of problems that they identify and anticipate. That is the reason that we link action research with social action. The second type of applied research is known as social impact assessment, and the basic purpose of social impact assessment is to estimate the likely consequences of a planned change. Therefore, such an assessment can be used for planning and making choices among alternate policies. These disciplines, we see that measuring and evaluating social aspect is a very important part of the whole study. Therefore, we see that social impact assessment acts as a process of identifying the future consequences of a proposed action, which can be related to any individual, organization, or any social sector. Therefore, the central theme of social impact assessment is to predict and evaluate those impacts, those implications before they have happened. That is the reason that we see that social impact assessment is a highly useful technique in public policy, in different programs, in organizations, education and health sector, business, and community programs as well. Social impact assessment is also known as anticipatory research because of the fact that it seeks to place the expectation and the attainment of desired outcomes on a more rational and reliable basis in order to make a project more workable. Therefore, it is observed that most of the social impact studies, they incorporate community services, social conditions, the demographic consequences as well, environment, health, psychological well-being, and economic impact as well. For instance, if there is any government project, so the basic idea of social impact assessment is to inform the decision makers about all the problems and implications of different factors in a very early stage of the problem, so that it can manage the social issues throughout the project until it is completed. So, from this explanation, we can say that the basic scope of social impact assessment is the construction of a set of information that is capable of expanding and deepening the knowledge of a particular problem and to provide a better guide to the decision making processes at different levels. In social impact assessment studies, we see that the researcher is dealing with both kinds of impact. It can be positive or it can be negative as well. So, basic question is that who is affected and how it is affected. For instance, social impact assessment can be applied to a study in which the basic objective is to estimate the ability of a city, that how much people that city can incorporate because of the process of urbanization. However, if it is related to the economic impact, then changes in the income level or changes in the nature of the business, that can also be estimated. However, we can also take the example of many sustainable development studies in which the basic objective is measuring, analyzing and evaluating the social, environmental and economic impact of any project or study. The third major type of applied research is known as evaluation research, which is also one of the most widely used type of applied research as well. Now, evaluation research addresses the basic question that did something work. Therefore, evaluation research refers to the process of establishing some valuable judgments based on evidence. Evaluation research intends to determine whether or not a project has achieved its desired goal and results. Moreover, evaluation research seeks to enhance the effectiveness in the public sphere, policy making, and governance. Evaluation research can be further divided into two categories. One is formative evaluation, that is an inbuilt monitoring system, or we can say that it provides a continuous feedback on a program throughout its implementation. On the other hand, summative evaluation looks at the final program outcomes once the program has been implemented. To make you understand, I'm going to give a very simple example. For instance, when a student starts a semester, so the whole continuous feedback on the semester is part of the formative evaluation, and once the student has completed its semester and then an evaluation is conducted, that is a summative evaluation. That is the reason that we see that evaluation research is not only part of public policy and governance, rather it is widely used technique by all administration, whether that is in government or it is private sector organizations, whether it is school, government agencies, business, health and education sector, social welfare sector, and many more. For instance, evaluation research have been used by United States since the early 1960s, and particularly the US Department of Defense used it for planning, programming and budgeting system. And the basic idea was that how the researcher can evaluate a program by measuring its accomplishment on the basis of some target objectives and goals. Hence, evaluation research provides an insight into the program or overall project under study, and eventually the evaluation research is enhancing the skill and the capacity of a particular project or a study. Because the results of evaluation research acts as a feedback and the intended outcomes of a particular project, it can facilitate the organization or the area under study to improve the capacity building and to address the problem areas. So overall, we can see that in applied research, whether it is social impact assessment or evaluation research, the researcher is using two important tools. One is the cost-benefit analysis and the other is the need assessment to provide a practical solution to the problem. So this was all from my side today. I hope this video will work for you. Keep watching our channel, share our videos and subscribe to Research Hub. Allah Hafiz.